and welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
Coming at you from Huntsville State Park.
And this is a park that as you enter it says gators live in the park. And so that's one of the reasons why we hadn't come here until now. This is the summer of 2020 and we knew we weren't going to be swimming, so this would be the perfect time to come to Gator Country.
And it's paid off. We've seen some gators. Well, yeah, at least one.
We've seen some gators, and we had gone down and were fishing, and brief story, and then we'll get to the review of the park. But we were fishing, and we had seen this gator that others had, I'm not a great judge, but I'd heard someone else say 12 feet. I was thinking 10 feet. It was a big gator.
Yeah.
And he'd been just kind of hanging out there under the fishing pier, and he had gone on off. We'd seen him swim away. Then these two young men, probably
boys
in their 20s, early, mid-20s, were coming down. You dared me to jump off of this. And I just said, hey, guys, there's a big gator just hanging out right here earlier. But boys will be boys. And they jumped off, and I mean, a guy across the street that was in his campsite came over and said, guys, I'm not telling you what to do, but there's been a gator hanging out. Where the gator had gone down the bank, the people were watching him, and they said
they were yelling.
As soon as they heard the splash, because then, of course, the second one had to jump in, they start yelling, gators in the water, because the gator, once he heard the splash, turned and started back. Thankfully, we don't have a rescue story to tell you, but definitely our gators, and then Mylena caught the biggest fish we've ever seen on one of our hooks. I'm thinking it was a largemouth bass. I mean, we're in Texas, and it was like this big around. Think of that as a big, I mean, it was massive. And I'm trying to think, we didn't have a net with us, and I'm looking in his mouth, which is equally that big, thinking, how can we land this thing? Well, by then the gator had decided, once he heard it splash, once the line broke, he heard it splash. I mean, he came right, and we'll show you that picture. I mean, he was just right there. But anyway, so yes, this is a gator park. Now, other things about the park.
This is a beautiful park.
I don't know what we were expecting, but this is not what I was expecting.
There are lots of pines.
And the campsites, we are, let me see if I can show you way up there. I don't know if you can see the water and electric hookup, but that's our closest, well, there's actually someone here. But we have a huge site.
Yes.
If you're down actually kind of on the water, the sites are going to be closer together. It is open between the sites. You want that because
gators.
There are gators in the park. And some other young men who actually had sense and did not jump in the water with the gator were telling us when they were out hiking they saw gators on the trails.
3 of them.
And so we've ridden our bikes on the roads.
We don't want a close and personal encounter with a gator. I know some of you will say they won't bother you. We want to make sure they don't bother us.
Being on a fishing pier and them in the water was just closer than I really cared to be. But this is a gorgeous park. There are water and electric sites.
Yes.
There are water-only sites.
There are full hookups.
There are full hookups, and most of those are pull-through.
Yes.
I want to say this is one of the most ADA-friendly campgrounds I believe I have ever seen. I mean, there are paved sidewalks going to the park host sites, so if someone with a disability needs to contact the park host, and it's not just this one. I've seen that at several park hosts around. In the camping, we're in the Birch Cove?
No, that was the last one. We're in Prairie Branch.
That sounds right. But there are sidewalks between the campsites over there in the middle loop, and then paved sidewalks going to all of the restrooms. There are a number of screened shelters that have paved sidewalks. There's a paved sidewalk going to the fishing piers, to the boat launch, to the day use area, all throughout the day use area, the park store. I mean, it's just very, very ADA friendly, and that is awesome to see. We have seen, and it's a beautiful park. I mean, the day use area is, like I said, there's a fishing pier, there's a park store over there where they sell ice and souvenirs and stuff, volleyball, lots of stuff over there, and a lot to choose from the campgrounds. Now, we haven't really gone out. The park road is actually an exit off of Interstate 45 going from Dallas to Houston.
And believe it or not, there's construction on 45.
We did not start at Dallas or Houston. No. We were hitting it in the middle, but then we had to get on 45 for 3 miles, 4 miles,
Maybe.
Something like that.
Not far at all.
But of course, it was enough that we were able to see that our exit was not an option. But they did have it well marked. They had it where you could easily see, but just so you know, you may be able to hear, depending on where you are, a few traffic noises just because...
I haven't.
When I've been walking Theo every morning, and there's been a lot of traffic on 45. But this is just an absolutely gorgeous sight. And one of the other things I wanted to say, like I said, we haven't actually gone out on any of the trails, but the trails that I've seen have been really well kept.
Yes.
And I think that's to help cut down on people surprising gators. We have seen rabbits. I'm just looking at one. I'll show you a little video I just took of him. He's sitting right over here, not far from our campsite, which makes me feel better about, okay, maybe the gators aren't eating every little animal inside. But this is a gorgeous park, and one that honestly we never would have come to had it not been for COVID-19. This one was just not going to make our list, and it is beautiful.
If we come back, it may be in the fall. It is humid. We're near Houston, and the humidity's about 100%. It is humid.
Yeah, it's been humid, and it's actually, but it's been cool. I mean, I would have been shocked. The day we got here, it was stifling trying to set up the campsite. But then we got a shower. We've slept with the windows open, and this is in late June. Yeah. And so that says a lot that it's actually been that comfortable, but that's probably because there's like a tropical depression that's pushing some moisture. Well, it's going to be humid no matter what. Yes. But the cloud cover and cooler nights. But it is beautiful, and I'm glad we made.
I am too.
And if you're traveling between Dallas and Houston, this might be a park you want to check out, but
don't jump in the water with the gators.
But if you're traveling from Dallas to Houston, you're going to need a break. I mean, that's just, neither one of those places are going to be nearly as pretty as this, trust me. But anyway, those are, like I said, I am glad that we came here. Me and too. We'll get on the road in the morning. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.